Hi, welcome back to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The maritime industry provides jobs for countless people in the oil, gas, fishing, and transportation industries. Unfortunately, injuries are all too common in this line of work, and many workers incur high medical expenses or lose wages after an accident. Maritime injuries are not limited to those who work on the open water either. Port and dock workers can also suffer severe joint and bone injuries, just like other maritime workers. These injuries are quite serious and can keep workers out of their job for months or longer. In the case of more serious injuries, maritime workers may be paralyzed and never able to return to work again. Compensation is needed to reimburse medical expenses, pay for rehabilitation, and replace lost income. Maritime work is physically grueling, and joint and bone injuries are quite common. These injuries are quite serious and can keep workers out of their job for months or longer. In the case of more serious injuries, maritime workers may be paralyzed and never able to return to work again. Some frequent injuries we see are concussions, spinal injuries, or broken bones from being struck by vessels, equipment, or cargo. Other injuries may include hip or shoulder injuries from a slip, fall, or from handling heavy equipment, and repetitive stress injuries caused by performing the same motion over and over for a long period of time. Joint and bone maritime injuries are not limited to those who work on the open water. Port and dock workers can also suffer severe joint and bone injuries, just like other maritime workers. Compensation is needed to reimburse medical expenses, pay for rehabilitation, and replace lost income. Falling into the water is not only common but is, unfortunately, one of the deadliest types of accidents. Many maritime workers can be swept off boats or tossed into the water by a strong wave. Maritime workers who fall into the water can drown or even die from hypothermia before being rescued. Injured workers or their survivors can sue to receive compensation for the injury or for the loss of their loved one. Today, a lot of chemicals are transported over the sea, which can injure maritime workers who handle the cargo. These chemicals can cause fires, which burn and maim workers or even lead to their death. However, some chemicals injure workers in more subtle ways. For example, maritime workers might inhale chemicals, or the chemicals might soak through clothing and be absorbed by the skin. The resulting disease or respiratory ailment might take years or decades to develop. No injury is too small, and what seems like a minor scrape or a bump on the head might turn into something much more serious over time. Maritime law is complex, and determining who or when to sue requires an experienced maritime injury lawyer. Maritime law and your federal acts cover those hurt or killed at sea, as their workplace contains many of the elements of an accident: wild weather, slippery surfaces, heavy moving equipment, toxic material exposure, and extreme temperatures. You should seek the help of an experienced maritime attorney to collect your past benefits. Oftentimes, you can even make a claim under multiple laws. Maritime law historically gave the injured seaman maintenance and cure. All doubts and ambiguities are often resolved in favor of the injured seaman. Maintenance covers the seaman's daily living expenses during recovery, and cure covers medical expenses. These benefits, and when the doctor releases you, you may be able to collect punitive damages or even bring a separate negligence claim against your employer for future damages under the Jones Act. Texas maritime laws and statutory reports. Federal courts have jurisdiction in all maritime matters. A number of federal and Texas state laws regulate maritime accidents and injuries, including Jones Act, or the Merchant Marine Act of 1920. This federal law sets maritime safety, maintenance, training, and licensing standards and protects the welfare and health of seamen. The Act covers vessels in motion as well as those that are temporarily in port. Under the law, a seaman who suffered an injury or illness due to someone else's negligence on the vessel or unseaworthiness of the vessel can sue their employer or another negligent party for full damages. This typically includes coverage for things such as medical expenses, lost wages, loss of future earning capacity, cost of living during recovery, and pain and suffering. The Act also allows qualified survivors to sue for survivor benefits if their loved one dies due to a work-related illness or injury while working as a seaman. Death on the High Seas Act, or DOHSA. This act allows survivors of workers killed in international waters farther than 3 nautical miles from the U.S. coast to recover compensation for damages such as funeral expenses, medical bills, and loss of income. Outer Continental Shelf Lands Act, or OCSLA. This federal law helps protect workers off their coast of the continental U.S., such as construction employees, oil rig workers, and other or fixed platform involved in the exploration of the outer continental shelf. Public Vessels Act, or PVA. This federal law allows maritime employees who are employed by the U.S. government or who work on a government vessel to sue the government for personal injuries and wrongful death resulting from maritime accidents on the vessel. Texas Water Safety Act. This Texas state law requires boats to have safety equipment like lights and fire extinguisher and prohibits boat operators from speeding and other types of negligence. Under this act, operators must report accidents that involve serious injuries or $2,000 or more in property damage. Statutes of limitation for maritime lawsuit personal injury lawyers in Dallas. The Uniform Statute of Limitation for Maritime Torts covers claims for all maritime accidents unless they are covered by some other federal statute. The statute most often covers claims related to the Jones Act and the Death on the High Seas Act. Under this law, maritime workers or their surviving loved ones typically have 3 years from the date of the work-related maritime accident to file a claim. However, there are certain exceptions to this rule, such as if a seaman did not discover an injury until later. People can be injured in maritime and offshore jobs in a variety of ways. For example, the boat might have crashed, tipped over, or sunk. Passengers can also be injured from hitting a wave or the wake of another boat. Offshore or maritime injuries can result in sky-high medical bills, and victims can be in pain for years. Before you can get the compensation you deserve, you need to identify the person legally responsible for your injury. In any circumstance, a knowledgeable maritime accidents injury lawyer at Craft and Associate PC can evaluate your case and help you understand which laws apply to your particular situation. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.